Well, welcome everybody to our webinar day. Brad, thanks for getting this started for us. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to share today. Brad, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the Creative Hub, let's talk through. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between static images and the conversion rate of static images when it comes to running a Facebook ad set, and video-based content when it comes to running a Facebook ad set. So we want to talk through the dialogue behind that. Hopefully, Brad, you can share your screen with us here in a minute so we can get into that and talk in more detail. Last week, as a recap, we had a chance to talk about how to set up the perfect ad set. We had a lot of questions in the context of that presentation, which was awesome. And a lot of people that were associated with those questions, a lot of the questions came from how do we write proper ad copy, and we went in detail, step by step, how to write the perfect ad copy. Now, I guess I shouldn't say perfect because perfect, I don't think there's such a thing, but close to perfection. So we are, we're excited to move forward with this and go into more detail, and we have a ton of statistics that we'll be able to show you here soon once Brad shows his screen. Brad, are you showing your screen for us? We can't see it on our end if you are.
Not quite. I'm just pulling up Creative Hub right now, so give me 1 second.
Okay, perfect. So what questions you got as we're waiting? Mitch, why don't you go through some statistics on differences between click-through ratios that we've noticed between a video-based ad set in a cold market or a click-through ratio we saw with a image-based ad set, and then kind of walk through the process of how we've seen additional success using image-based ads after a video-based ad. In a sequential ordering. So let's talk through some of that, some of the statistics, and then we'll dive into more detail on the value proposition between each of them.
Yeah, so I don't have the numbers right in front of me, so I'll give some from my memory. Also, I want to say that this isn't true every single time. What we're going to share, it's true 90% of the time, though. So, this will be what you default to. So video versus image. What we see is that video, as far as the click-through rate. So the click-through rate is going to be, you have a link over to your website in your Facebook ad. And the number of people that click that is 4 to 5 times greater on a video sharing the same message, the same concept, the same offer, the same promotion, the same everything, is anywhere from 4 to 5 times better on a video versus an image when sent to a cold market, meaning you're just targeting based on interests or behaviors or whatever. So that's what we see as far as how that works. But again, that's not true every single time. And, the reason for that is video. If everybody wants to chime in, who would rather read a blog article and look at a picture or watch a video about the same content? That's how most people are these days, and so we'd much rather watch video with our attention spans for the average person. So videos are just more engaging. And then your follow-up question, remarketing to videos.
Yeah, so let's talk through the process. There's a lot of different ways that you can strategically place your content. One thing that Dave Stratton's on with us, and he actually had a pretty interesting case study where he did a live video of a reveal of a boat that he had wrapped. He owns a company called IF Signs, and he wrapped a boat. Turned out incredible. And what was neat about that is the video actually didn't perform as well as the image did. The static image ad performed a lot better than the video did on that specific one. So when Mitch talks about it doesn't work every single time, 90% of the time, yeah, it will more than anything else. It does. And it also depends on the way you position the video and or the image. So let's get in, Brad, let's dive in and create a mock-up here.
Are we doing a video or an image then?
Let's do an image ad first. And then if we have time, we'll come back and put together a video-based ad. Did we save that copy from last week anywhere? I think Mitch may have saved it.
Yeah, if you go to manage mockups. Oh. It must have only saved when I did it.
Yeah,
it might just be saved
on your end or something.
Yeah, interesting.
Which it's in the same account, so.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe you need to share it. Okay, so anyway, we talked again. If you want to listen to what the actual ad copy looked like of the previous image or the previous video, then feel free to go back and take a look at that and see what that looks like of our previous podcast. And again, those are typically sent out, or not podcast, but video cast. Those are typically sent out a couple days after. So if you haven't been paying attention to our to the emails, might be a good time to start now. All right, so let's dive in. Let's talk about image. What are the things that we should consider, Brad and Mitch, when it comes to putting together an image associated with an ad set? What type of images? What's the kind of the rule of thumb that you've learned? What are the things that we can do to? What can we teach people here to give them better and more effective imagery? Or where can we find? Let's start with, where do you find images?
Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, obviously, when you are actually setting up your ad, you've got 3 options up here. You've got upload image, so anything that you have on your computer, you can upload. Image library is that library of images you've already used in past ads, and then stock images, it gets pulled from Shutterstock. So, what kind of an ad are we building today?
Let's do 2. Let's first do just a static image ad where we have multiple different ads inside of the ad set. And then the second one, if we have time, we'll build a carousel ad.
For what industry?
Let's do a product of some sort.
Okay. Maybe we anyone in the comments? We want to
what product do you guys sell? Product or service do you sell that we want to show you some images, or we want to do a case study here with you? Type it in here in the chat window, and we'll find some images based on what you're looking for.
Yeah, so if we're selling, any.
So let's do carpet cleaning. Lacey's talking a service. And I know she's worked with a carpet cleaning agency in the past.
Okay, so first, right off the bat, we're talking about where you can get images. Now, Facebook's partnered up with Shutterstock to give you a really quick and easy way to go grab images. Once you choose this image, of course, the Shutterstock logo will be off of there. But there's some other options. For example, if we go to, there's places like, let's see, Pexels is one. What are some others that we've used in the past?
Pixabay.
Pixabay is another one. So I'm going to show you a few of these.
Now, these are non-licensed. What we're looking for is a non-licensed image that you don't necessarily have to purchase, something you can pull from. It's still a high-quality stock image, but at the same time, it's free, so you don't have to go in and purchase it. Now, you can. I mean, I think there's some different resources out there. There's iStock, there's Shutterstock that you can get for very inexpensive, right? It's like $100 for 75 images or something like that. But
yeah, so the main thing to remember here is that Shutterstock, every other carpet cleaning company has access to these as well. So this is kind of the easy, quick way. It's not necessarily always going to be the best, but if you need to get an ad out fast or something like that, this can work. But what we're really looking for when we're trying to pick an image is we try and find out what's an image that's going to get people to stop their thumb, right? On mobile, they've got that scroll going constantly. What's a scroll stopping image that's going to make them stop and go, oh, that's different, or that catches my attention?
Brad, why don't you switch over? Let's pull something up, but if you'll switch over just to your Facebook timeline, and let's just look through a couple of different images on the Facebook feed of ads that are being run that we might consider to be good, and then some that we might consider to be a little bit off color. Well, not off color by any means, but at least different, that we wouldn't pay attention to.
Look, we're watching ourselves on live. That's fun. So here's there's really quickly, first sponsored image. So yeah, this is a good idea. Kind of a quick breakdown. Another thing to remember when you're getting into images is The amount of text that you use on your image can oftentimes decrease the amount of reach that you get. So Facebook doesn't want your whole image to be just text, like a billboard, bunch of text. They don't like that. So they'll decrease your image. There's something called the 20% rule. And there's actually, if you just Google 20% rule Facebook or something, there's a lot of places you can go and put your image up there real quick and find out if you're good or not. So,
I'll get some of those links here, Brad, while we're walking through this.
Awesome. Okay, let's find it. There's another one. So that's a video ad. How many of these do you want to look at? Let's go to the next image ad and then break it down. Want to do that?
Yeah.
You can see who's advertising to me. There you go.
Video-based
Oh,
image
that's
ad.
another video. So that's like a slideshow style video.
Yep.
There's another one. That is an image. So, so this is, in my opinion, these are some of the best images that you can do. So this ad's really, really good because first of all, his copy is fantastic. The first place my eye goes is this, $16,500 a month. And then this image is what stopped me because it gives the illusion of results, right? Someone saying, hey, this is typically something, they know me well, right? They're showing a marketer already. They're advertising to me as a marketer, and they know that these kind of metrics and results, I'm used to looking at these. So they stop me in my tracks, and it's showing that. But the other part of it is that this is not some static image that he got off of Shutterstock. This is more of a custom one that he did, or just a screenshot that he actually took from within his account. And oddly enough, the same exact image ad is on the right hand column at the same time. So, well, anything else you guys would add?
Just a note here. Also, you'll see that it says, "Hey, I saw you checked out my Facebook ads workshop or something." So this is a remarketing campaign.
Yep.
So this may have been the second step in his ad set. Actually, this one looks like the first page, the Cody Lister here, and then on the right-hand side, he uses the same image, right?
Yeah, so if you look at that,
beneficial.
Yeah, that very first line of copy is, I noticed you didn't get the chance to register. So sometime in the past, I probably clicked on another ad that he had, and I didn't register for his webinar or whatever he's trying to do. And now he's remarketing and saying, hey, come back, you didn't get the chance. This is why you should. So.
Okay, perfect. So let's go back, Brad, to the actual image, Creative Hub. And I think we're only going to have time just to create this one image. But let's just look and see if we can find something that would work. So we've got this one here. And recognize as well, guys, recognize when you're putting together an image, you want that image to tell a story before they see the copy. Because like Brad said before, some people will only click on the ad based on the image. Other people will only click on the ad based on the ad copy. Some people will only click on the image based on all sorts of different reasons. Maybe it's a video ad set. So what we want to do is we want to bring to light that there's so many different things, potential things that could work that would tell a story. In this case, if we're in the carpet cleaning business, this tells a story that whatever system they're using is showing a big point of differentiation with what it was versus what it is now. It's a documented story in the context of the image itself. And recognize once you have that image in place, now you can write the ad copy that would associate with a story like this. Don't put together an image and then on your ad copy of your image or the text portion of your ad is completely different than what the image looks like. You want there to be a level of sync or a connection between the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Another thing to keep in mind when you're picking an image is you got to understand or remember where you're taking people. So after they've seen the image and they're going to click, where are they going? Because that's another important part. It's called AdScent. That just means that it's just what Ryan was just saying. There's a congruency between the first experience with the content that they're seeing to kind of come full circle into the actual page. So it's oftentimes a good idea to use even the same image over on the landing page. Now, of course, as we mentioned, these things you just test all along the way throughout the whole funnel. But a lot of times that when someone clicks over, they feel like, okay, I'm in the right place. This is where I'm supposed to be, because they already voted yes with their click by accepting the content and the image that they have just seen.
Brad and Mitch, give us some insight. I know when we create ads, typically inside of the ad segment of the ad set, if you will, we test multiple types of different images, right? It's not usually just a one image play inside of an ad set. We keep the copy the same, we keep all our things the same, but we change images. Why do we do that? Maybe you can share some insights on that, Mitch.
Did we lose Mitch?
I don't know. Maybe we lost Mitch.
Sounds like we lost him.
Mitch, we lost you. Or your mic's off. One or the other. No worries.
Nope.
So one of the reasons, nope, we can't hear you yet, Mitch. Not sure why. One of the reasons that we do that, guys, is because Facebook wants to optimize ad sets for us. And when we give them the opportunity to optimize those ad sets and see who is responding to what most efficiently and effectively, that gives us the opportunity to figure out, okay, not only do what we thought was working, because we might put 5 different images inside of this one ad, and we might think that one's going to work when in reality a different one is more consumable by those people that are clicking on the ad sets. So it gives us just some more strategy, some more understanding of, okay, now how do we best capitalize on the marketplace, and how do we best create ads or imagery that is most congruent, like Brad said, with that customer experience, and how are they best understanding that customer experience in the process?
Yeah, and keep in mind that oftentimes it's the ugly images or the ugly kind of the things that you wouldn't think would convert, just like Ryan said. Oftentimes those are the ones that actually do. So get creative with your the variety of images that you use, and it'll go a long way.
Remember, it's all about stopping. It's all about telling a story in a way that stops them in their tracks, so that they want to come in and say, okay, listen, I'll pay attention. Now, what is it you're trying to educate me on or give me value in?
Yeah. And another,
go ahead.
Yeah. Another thing to remember is, just like that example of that image that we saw when I was scrolling through my feed, keep in mind where they're at in the process. If this is the first ad that you're running, this image, for instance, in the carpet cleaning business, it's going to get kind of the low-hanging fruit. It's people that have already been thinking about, oh, I need to clean my carpets. Or I guess it could be a reminder of oh, maybe I wonder how much dirt I could suck up off the floor if we got that done at my place. But the idea is that, remember that there's a sequence of events that takes place. So you always want to start with, what's the first experience? What am I doing initially? You're not just asking directly for the sell. Usually that doesn't really work that well. So you need to warm an audience up. And so if that's this state you're in, if that's the phase of ads you're in, then that's going to be a completely different image than, again, like a remarketing image where someone's already engaged with your brand.
That's right. And keep in mind, it's super important to pay attention to what's happening with your ad sets, to see who's engaging, what context is value-based to them. And there's a lot of metrics, and we'll get into the metrics later on how we could look at an ad set and how we can analyze an ad set, whether it's working or not. But just recognize, today we wanted to talk about the difference between a image-based ad and a video-based ad. And we probably won't even get into video, so maybe we'll push that video-based ad off till next week. But recognize, again, when it comes to an image, you want to stay away from the 20% rule. As a matter of fact, we often see when people are running ad sets that we have access to their business manager accounts that, maybe maybe they wanted to go try to run ads for themselves and we're just acting as more of a consultant. We see often that it says your ads are performing 80% less because of the amount of text that you have on it. Really, if you can put together an ad set and not have any text on the imagery, you'll typically get better reach than if you have text on the images themselves. But that being said, you can test it. You might test two very similar images and put a call to action on one and not put a call to action on the other and just see which one performs better.
Yep. And the key there is test. I mean, that's not to say never put text on an ad, because,
Correct.
Even if it has minimal decrease in reach, but you're able to convert higher, then you can make up that difference oftentimes. So it's just a testing game. It's one big experiment.
Exactly right. So let's talk through again. Let's just do a recap here of what you would test, where you would find images, and then we'll just shift next week to talk more about video-based content because we only have about 5 minutes. So first, when it comes to Facebook marketing, Facebook advertising, from an image-based perspective, highly suggest going to a couple of different places. You have Pexel.com, you have Pixabay.com. You can just pull context directly from the creative or from the images, the connection with Shutterstock. You can go to iStock. You can use some of those images if you do want to do a text overlay on an image. Brad's bringing up a program called Canva. It's a great place to create image-based concepts, meaning you can go in and actually put together an image and do a text overlay on the actual image. Like, for instance, with this image right here, on the left-hand side, you can drag and drop the context and then add in whatever you want on top of that. Canva is free. Yeah, Dave, it is. And I know you as a graphic designer probably don't appreciate me sharing this, but yes, it is. It's a shortcut for all the entrepreneurs out there in the world that are trying to figure out how do we do these really cool things. You can actually add if you have a vector file of your logo, you can throw your logo into this. But then you can save these. You can download as a PNG file, a JPEG file, a PDF, depending on how you want to use it. And there's some really cool things that Canva can do for you. They do have a paid version, but go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was just going to say Canva's for us that aren't graphic. Well, I guess we're graphically challenged, so we're not like very good at this stuff. But it's a quick and easy way to add that additional little layer to differentiate your images just enough so that they're unlike what everyone else is doing. And it's just very, very simple and quick and easy to do. Yep.
The other cool thing about Canva, just as a heads up, is when you actually take those images into Canva, when you select the layout or select the different types of images you want, it will already predetermine it'll predetermine the sizes. So it'll give you an Instagram post, for instance.
Yeah, let's just go back to the main page here. So if you want to build a Facebook ad, then you've got all your preset sizes. So there's a Facebook post, Instagram post, and then marketing material right here. I believe. Let's see.
Yep, right there. Social media. Yep. Nope. Up. Right there.
Right there.
Inside of there. So have your Facebook post, cover events. It's actually up above. It's considered a post, so it'd be the same size as a post.
Yeah, and then you can also do custom size right here.
Yep. Yeah. You can put together some custom dimensions. 1200 by 628 is for ads, for image-based ads. So. Okay, and then again, recognize that you want to try to create some scroll-stopping content on the actual news feed to get people to pay attention to what you're putting out in front of them. And it's a testing game. Start with 5 or 6 different images and see what works best, and then go from there. Yep. Any other questions you guys have about an image-based ad? No questions, huh?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, listen, we appreciate you being on with us. Next week, we are going to we try to keep these right to 30 minutes. So I know we were a couple minutes late getting started, but for those of you that are on with us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for being with us. You're welcome to share this. We will also get an email out to all of you with the replay link. If you haven't had a chance to register to get those emails, let us know. Shoot us a message either on Facebook. Maybe you received a Facebook message. Shoot us a message on Facebook, and we're happy to connect you there as well. But yeah, we'll get that replay link out. You're welcome to share it with others and or watch it again for a second time. And again, we'll be back next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and excited to share with you more information about, Brad, why don't we do carousel ads next week, and then we'll do video the following week.
Yeah, that'd be great. Another thing to keep in mind is we would love your feedback. I mean, send a message through the messenger in the Facebook group if you guys are part of that. Reach out and let us know, some direction that you would like us to go as far as what you'd like to hear from us. I think that'd be helpful.
Yep, that's great.
So
we're happy to adapt the schedule if there's something specifically you have a concern or a question on. So,
all right, thanks, Amy. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye everybody.